Imagine this. Two friends graduate from college in the same year. They get similar jobs. They earn almost the same salary. 10 years later, one owns investments, has financial freedom, and doesn't worry every month about bills. The other is trapped in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, wondering where all the money went. What happened? Was one simply luckier, smarter, or did something else happen behind the scenes? The answer lies in something most people never learn about: the psychology of money. Your financial future isn't shaped only by how much you earn. It's shaped by the decisions your brain makes every single day, often without you even noticing. And once you understand those hidden patterns, you start seeing money very differently. Most people believe the path to wealth is simple: earn more money, get promoted, find a better job, build a business. While increasing your income can certainly help, it doesn't automatically create wealth. Every year, there are people with high salaries who still struggle financially. At the same time, there are people with more modest incomes who consistently save, invest, and gradually improve their financial security. So what's the difference? The answer often isn't found in a bank account. It's found in the mind. Psychologists and behavioral economists have spent decades studying how people make financial decisions. Their research shows that our brains are full of shortcuts and biases. These shortcuts helped humans survive in the past, but they don't always lead to smart financial choices today. In this video, we'll explore several of the biggest psychological traps that quietly influence how we spend, save, and think about money. Imagine someone offers you two choices. You can receive $100 today, or $120 1 month from now. Many people choose the money today, not because it's the better financial decision, but because our brains naturally place a higher value on immediate rewards than future ones. This tendency is known as present bias. Thousands of years ago, choosing the immediate reward often made sense. Food, shelter, and safety couldn't always wait. But in today's world, that same instinct can work against us. It shows up in small decisions: buying something you don't really need because it's on sale, financing an expensive phone instead of waiting a few months, treating every paycheck as money to spend rather than money to plan. Each decision may seem insignificant on its own, but over time, those choices compound. Imagine two people earning exactly the same salary. One spends nearly every extra dollar on short-term pleasures. The other consistently saves and invests a portion of their income. 5 years later, their financial situations can look very different. Not necessarily because one earned more, but because their habits pointed them in different directions. Building wealth often means training yourself to delay gratification. That's easier said than done, but even small, consistent choices can add up over time. Have you ever noticed how getting a raise feels exciting at first, but after a few months it feels normal? Then suddenly, the extra money seems to disappear. This pattern is called lifestyle inflation. As income rises, spending often rises with it. A nicer apartment, a newer car, more subscriptions, more frequent dining out. None of these purchases are inherently bad. The challenge is that expenses can quietly expand to match income, leaving little room to build long-term financial security. There's an old saying, the more you earn doesn't matter if the more you spend. While that's an oversimplification, it highlights an important idea. Building wealth isn't just about increasing income. It's also about deciding what happens to that extra income. Some people treat every raise as permission to spend more. Others treat it as an opportunity to save, invest, or pay down debt. Over many years, those different decisions can lead to very different outcomes. One of the most effective financial habits isn't making your lifestyle look richer. It's making your future stronger. Imagine you walk into a shopping mall with no intention of buying anything. 30 minutes later, you're carrying a bag you never planned to own. What changed? Was it a sudden need? Or was it something else? Here's the truth. Most of our financial decisions don't happen in isolation. They're influenced by the people around us, the content we consume, and the environments we spend time in. Psychologists call this social influence. We naturally compare ourselves with others. When everyone around us upgrades their phone, buys a new car, or posts expensive vacations online, it's easy to feel like we're falling behind. But here's what social media rarely shows. It doesn't show the debt. It doesn't show the financial stress. It doesn't show years of careful saving, or in some cases, years of overspending. We compare our everyday life to someone else's highlight reel, and that comparison quietly shapes our financial choices. Companies understand this better than anyone. Every advertisement, every limited time offer, every influencer partnership is designed to make you feel that buying something will improve your life. Sometimes it does. But often, the feeling fades quickly, and we're left wanting the next thing. One of the most valuable financial skills isn't resisting every purchase. It's learning to pause and ask, am I buying this because I truly need it, or because I've been influenced to want it? That single question can save you far more money than any budgeting app. Imagine you receive an unexpected $1,000. What's the first thing that comes to mind? A new phone, a weekend trip, paying off a bill? Everyone's situation is different, and there's no single correct answer. But there's an interesting difference between how many consumers and investors often approach money. Consumers usually ask, what can this money buy today? Investors often ask, what could this money become in the future? That's a completely different way of thinking. One perspective focuses on immediate enjoyment. The other focuses on future possibilities. This doesn't mean investors never spend money or enjoy life. It means they often consider the long-term trade-offs before making a decision. For example, instead of upgrading something that still works, they might choose to save or invest part of that money. Over time, those repeated choices can create opportunities that aren't obvious in the moment. Wealth rarely appears because of one perfect decision. More often, it's built through many ordinary decisions repeated consistently over years. That's one of the quiet secrets behind long-term financial growth. Small actions, repeated patiently, again and again. If you've made it this far, you might be wondering, so, does this mean making more money doesn't matter? Not at all. Increasing your income can absolutely improve your financial life, but income alone doesn't guarantee financial security. Around the world, there are people with high salaries who struggle because they spend almost everything they earn. And there are people with more modest incomes who slowly build wealth through discipline, planning, and patience. The difference isn't that one group has discovered a secret. It's that they understand one simple truth. Money amplifies habits. If you consistently spend without a plan, earning more may simply lead to spending more. But if you build habits like saving regularly, investing wisely, avoiding unnecessary debt, and continuing to learn, higher income can accelerate those good habits. That's why building wealth is less about one big decision and more about hundreds of small decisions repeated over time. Every time you choose to think before spending, every time you save instead of buying on impulse, every time you invest in your future instead of chasing short-term satisfaction, you're training your brain to work for your future instead of against it. And those small choices can become powerful over the years. The greatest financial investment you can make isn't always in stocks, or real estate, or even a business. It's in the way you think. Because before wealth grows in a bank account, it usually grows in your decisions, your habits, your patience, your ability to choose tomorrow over today when it matters. Remember, no single video can change your life overnight. Real financial progress comes from learning, adapting, and making better decisions consistently. So here's a question for you. What's one money habit you're going to improve after watching this video? Leave your answer in the comments. I'd love to read it. And if you enjoy exploring the psychology behind money, finance, and long-term wealth, subscribe, because this is just the beginning. I'll see you in the next one.